the mentor of Sky Yoga online meditation group, that is Tamil, Hindi, and also English. He is proficient in Tamil, English, and Hindi, and he is teaching Sky Yoga through all these languages. Today, he is going to give a lecture on the topic, Get Angry and Be Successful. You may wonder how to be successful with anger in us. Let's just hear our senior professor's speech and then come to the conclusion what he means by this. Over to you, Balachandran Aya. Be blessed by the divine.
Thank you, Professor Bharati. Thanks for a beautiful meditation, for your meditation. Because the topic is get angry and be successful. But then you got to have a peaceful mind. And that's why this meditation had greatly helped. I warmly welcome my salutations to all the members participating in this program around the world. It's indeed a great pleasure and honor to be addressing all of you. May the whole world enjoy prosperity, happiness, and peace. May we all be blessed with good health, long life, enough wealth, wisdom, and peace. The topic is get angry and be successful. In fact, a couple of friends rang up and said, I think you must have made a mistake. It should be don't get angry and be successful. After all, it's a meditation group. Swamiji has been talking about patience and things like that. So, what are you going to see here? In fact, Maharishi has been one of the greatest psychologists. The depth to which he has gone and explained things about thought, about desire, about anger are really outstanding. But before that, we know that anger is negative. It spoils our health, it spoils our relationships, we lose our concentration, etc., etc., etc. We'll see that also. But at the same time, anger, when it is used properly, it can be an extremely powerful agent. Example of Mahatma Gandhi. The moment we talk of Mahatma Gandhi, we think of a man of non-violence, ahimsa, a great Mahatma. But you know how all these things happened? He was a Gujarati business community man, went to UK, became a barrister, and he came to South Africa. But he was insulted because due to race, and that insult made him terribly angry. And from an ordinary barrister, he grew up into Mahatma. Today, International Court of Justice in Hague, if you see, they've got Mahatma Gandhi's statue there. In San Francisco, we have it. So if he had not got angry and if he had not channelized it properly, then maybe he would have been just one successful barrister in some corner of the world. Isn't it? Another example, in fact, today, Professor Ramanan from Edison, New Jersey, he was to speak. Unfortunately, he had to go for an emergency. So I'm a substitute. Okay. Now, because he's from Edison, I'll give an example from that itself as an honor for him. Thomas Alva Edison, you all know that he's the greatest inventor, maybe 300 inventions he has done. Nobody has even come very near to that. But you know how all these things happened? When he went to school, the teacher, basic schools in class 1, class 2, class 3, something like that, the teacher gave him a letter saying that you show it to the mother. And this young boy, he went and gave it to the mother, and the mother saw it. And the teacher has said, this fellow is totally useless. He cannot get anything from this education, so please don't send him to school from tomorrow. And this mother, a single mother, she was shocked. At the same time, she became extremely angry with the society. She said, I'm taking this challenge. I won't take it lying down. She was working as a clerk in library, so she used to take him along. And self-schooling, homeschooling, and it is that mother's anger made Thomas Alva Edison out of a person who's considered an idiot by the school teacher. Our own Vethathiri Maharishi, a votary of peace, because the moment you think of Vethathiri Maharishi, immediately our mind comes to a very calm level. But again, it is anger which made Vethathiri Maharishi. Again, you'll be surprised. Let me just quote. We started World Community Service Center when we saw, because he was greatly affected by the Second World War. He was seeing millions of people dying for no reason, for no cause. And he got terribly angry with the system. In fact, in one of the songs, one of the poems, he says, Udalil Shirikayamo Urupugalil Adiyo. I'll just give the translation. That in our families, somebody is sick or got hurt. Immediately, all the family members get emotionally affected. And then they somehow want him to get back to normal health. So even for a single person, for a small hurt, that's what happens. But in a war, what happens? Even within minutes, thousands and thousands of people are being killed for no reason, for no fault of theirs. Many of them are killed, many of them are maimed, their families become totally wrecked. But seeing all this, why nothing is happening to us? And he uses a very strong phrase, Nadandu sellum pinangalalla naam ivatrai paarthu. We are not moving corpses. At seeing all this, we are just keeping quiet. Nadandu sellum pinangalalla naam ivatrai paarthu, namadhu kadamai therந்து nalam seyyadhirukku. Let us remember our duty and do something to change this world. Because we are indebted to the world every moment of our life. Again, Swamiji's Karma Yoga principle. Every moment of our life, it is because of the society that we are alive today. So, having taken the food for 30, 40, 50 years, getting all the benefits, and not even thinking of how to make some changes, it is this made him leave his job, start an organization. So, anger is a very, very powerful energy. It was slightly deeper. Earlier to that, anger is nothing but whenever a desire is somebody comes in the way of fulfilling a desire, that the desire itself becomes anger. Okay, I want to see a movie, Rajinikanth's movie. My father says no. Then the desire for seeing that movie gets transformed into anger against my father. And what is a desire? Desire is nothing but a thought. A thought which makes you to do some action is a desire. We get thousands and thousands of thoughts, but some thoughts make you to do something, and that is desire. And thought itself, see, we have so much of misunderstandings about some of the basic emotions we have. So only when we have met Swamiji, we understand that how deep he has gone and how in schools and colleges we have not been taught these things. That's exactly what we have to do now. About thought also, we are very negative ideas. We say that I should not get any thought at all. Isn't it? So Maharishi says, if you don't get any thought at all, you are a stone then. In fact, Vivekananda, I told Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Guruji, I want to go to the thoughtless state. Then Ramakrishna Paramahamsa joked, then be a stone. Why do you want to be a human being? Doesn't have any thought at all. So even about thought, we have very negative ideas. Thoughts are what make you a human being. And you can become a divine being also. You can help thousands of people if thought is channelized properly. So thought should be there. But every thought may not be positive. So Swamiji comes out with analysis of thought, not stopping of thought. So in the analysis, you will come to know there are some desires. Again, how to analyze desires. I think many of you are already familiar with all these things. So I'm not going into basics. How to go about it. So when the desire unfulfilled becomes anger. So you see, thought is a powerful energy. Desire is a more powerful energy. Anger is a more powerful energy. But the very same energy, when dealt properly, can make all the difference. Nuclear energy, is it bad? No, it's a very powerful energy. It can be used for peaceful purposes, or it could totally eradicate the human beings, totally. So there's nothing wrong with nuclear power. We should know how to make use of it. Human thought is like that, extremely powerful. That's why Swamiji is Mana Vadakalai. How can you make it very powerful? Fine. Now, but don't get a wrong idea that yes, I have to get angry, then only I can be done. The very same anger can destroy also. What made Mahatma Gandhi made Hitler also. Anger. And that is the amount of devastation done. He himself had to kill himself, and then it was a cause for millions and millions of deaths. So it is just that he did not know how to make use of that power called anger. And he was consumed because anger is a very, very powerful energy. It will kill the person who does not know how to deal with anger. All the terrorism we are seeing, it's angry people getting angry, not knowing what they should do. The wars between countries, the differences of opinion in families, the divorces, all because of anger not being used properly. In fact, when any injustice happens, anger will have to happen, should be there. We should get angry about it. Bharatiyar, tani oru manidarukku unavai endru jagathine azhithiduvu. Of course, he was in a different mood, but when he says, Vethathiri Maharishi, what he says is, if somebody does not have food, let us plant. Let us use that energy to see how everyone can prosper, how everyone can have food. See, the very same anger, how Maharishi has converted it. Because he has understood what anger is and how to implement it, with what awareness. It is when we lack awareness, anger becomes danger to self, to others, for future also. But very same anger, when dealt with awareness, can make all the big differences. So we should understand how exactly anger happens and how to deal with it. So we saw that desire unfulfilled becomes anger. And the moment we get angry, what is happening is our animal impulse, the mental frequency goes beyond 14. It goes even up to 40. As the mental frequency goes up, the whole system goes haywire. Your blood pressure increases. Your whole system does not, your eyes become red. You have no control over your movements. You have no control over your words. People who are 20 years of friendship, can be just lost because you can use one wrong word. So what do we do? So we find that anger is very, very detrimental to us. Let us remember that. Let us not be proud of being angry. Because anger is manliness. No. Control of anger, dealing of anger properly is manliness, not manliness, humanness, divinity itself, divineness, I can say. So we possess that powerful energy. So when we don't know how to deal with that, just like when we don't know how to deal with nuclear energy, etc., etc., it's like a knife. It can help hundreds of people by a surgeon, or it can kill hundreds of people. Much, much more powerful than that. So Maharishi gives a beautiful analysis about how to understand anger. So he first talks about what happens when you become angry, when you have no control, when you have no awareness. That animal instincts take over. See, animals do only two things. They either, whenever a difficult situation comes, either they run away out of fear or they attack. So we become animals at that time. We may be human in appearance, but that animal imprint will immediately come out when we are angry. And that anger, when uncontrolled, is definitely going to make a big loss. So yes, all these things will happen. Eyes becoming red, you losing that. And a lot of magnetism goes out of the body. You start shivering. And anger is also, it gets imprinted. And again, even for a smaller reason, you will get angry. And ultimately, health-wise, physically, mentally, it becomes a wreck. And then what happens to the family, where the person gets angry very often? If a father is a very, very angry person, the whole family, we can see how much it suffers. The family cannot be happy. They cannot talk to each other properly. Because we don't know when this animal beast will start doing things. Even a beast, when it gets angry, with whatever power it has, it can kill a couple of people. But when a man gets angry, he's so powerful that he can destroy the world, especially today, with just pressing a button. And so that is why total awareness when anger comes is important. Then it can be beautifully modified. So we see the whole family gets affected. And then it's a chain reaction. So your boss gets angry, shouts at you for wrong reasons, you get angry, but you can't do anything about it there. So you come back home, you take it out on your wife. And wife is not able to take it back on you, so she hits the child who comes in front. You see the cycle? Everyone unhappy. So anger is a negative trait. Please don't mistake. Very powerful, but Maharishi gives how to make that normally negative energy to a very, very positive energy. It is this practice which is lacking. Everyone knows anger is negative, but how can you make it positive? So he gives a very, very simple practice, very, very practical tips. So he says, okay, do just a small thing. Do a meditation. That's why we need a meditation. Do a meditation, the mind comes to a calm level. And then he says, just list out people with whom you get angry. And we will be surprised to learn that in our list, it is not an enemy country person, a Chinese or a Pakistani or a white man who ruled over you and things like that. That's what we generally think. But when you actually write a list, he says, first question is, close your eyes and think of persons with whom you get angry very often. You will be very surprised, shocked to find that it is your own life partner. It could be your own son, daughter, your father or mother, your close friend. It is with them that we get angry very often. It becomes an eye-opener, really. And then what you have done is a person who is sacrificing so much for your welfare, it is to that person you get angry very often. Is it not an ungrateful act? A dog shows so much of faith to the person who's serving it. So we become worse than animals. Persons who are constantly thinking of our welfare, it could be our mother, father, wife, friend. It is to them that we get angry very often. And when we get angry, we become beastly, we do everything else. So this is the first step, she says. Okay, then he says, you want to come out of it, it is possible. Anger, when the mental frequency comes down, that anger becomes positive. So what does he say is, okay, take the first person and do this practice. Now think of all the situations in which you get angry and list it out. And then ask each of the situation whether it is your mistake or your life or the person's mistake. You will find in many cases that we are also responsible for that. When we get angry, we don't see the other side at all. We think we are right. The other person also thinks they are right, and that's the problem. Because we are in an emotional mood. Whereas immediately when you get angry, you can come to a calm level, but you should run this practice. And without this practice, we can never get success. So that is why he talks about meditation, introspection, which can totally transform lives. In fact, I used to get in my own list, my wife was number one. Okay, now she's not in this room now, so I can say that. So then, surprisingly, when that list was done, she was in the number one there. So then I said, okay, let me list out the situations. Then what I found was that when I come back from office, I used to keep, I don't generally bother. I keep my shoes here and there, socks will be there, shoes will be in some other direction. I'm like that. So my wife used to get angry. Why don't you keep your shoes properly? Now, immediately I used to get angry, and my ego. I don't know how much work I do in the office, and doing the small thing you are doing it. So that's an animalistic frequency. But now, when we jot down and then sit down and do this introspection, yes, keeping the shoes at wrong places. Then you start thinking of the other person, why they are shouting at you. In fact, she just got married. She was in Chennai. She came to Delhi, and we are 7 brothers and sisters. She becomes the eldest daughter-in-law. And our family was like a jungle because there's so many children, and my mother could not do it. So we never bothered about cleanliness at all. Whereas in her family, there was a brother and sister, and her family is extremely disciplined. I used to get nervous going there because when you go there, you'll find that the newspaper, 27th date, if you want, it will be just about 26th, below 28th. Whereas in our house, the moment the newspaper comes, somebody will take the sports sheet, somebody will take the main sheet. Even by the evening, you will not know where the paper is. So we have been living like that. And then suddenly this girl comes and says that, why you people are like this? And immediately I used to, my ego, my family is this, that, and all that. And I say something about their families, unnecessarily all these things happening. But when I started doing this exercise, in this situation, imagine, I could see from her side, and I'm like that, if all the 7 of us are doing like this, and a person who is so used to discipline and cleanliness, can you imagine how it will be? So the moment I thought about it, then I said, okay, percentage of mistake in this case is mine is 90% or even 100%. Whereas I used to think that 20% mistake is this. Like this, when we started doing it, I found that I got so much to improve myself. So this anger management practice, not controlling of anger, using it properly, dealing that anger with awareness. Anger will immediately come. In one of the poems from Maharishi says that even if he's a saint, if somebody pricks with a pin, the pain will come, immediately the anger will come. But the saints will immediately come down to normalcy. Okay, that child is done without maybe their knowledge. Like Christ could say, Father, they don't know what they did. They don't know. So to that level you can go and then see how you can help also. You see? So this transformation is possible when you do this analysis. And then you find that we have enough problems within us to transform. Personality transformation is nothing but removing the negativity and strengthening the positivity. What a beautiful definition Maharishi gives about a practical thing. So if we start practicing all this, and the moment anger comes, you are able to balance yourself. Then you will know exactly what actions to be taken. Hitler took a decision of killing people. Mahatma Gandhi said that, no, that is not a solution. There's a long history. Immediately things don't happen. Everything happens over hundreds of years. So there must be a transformation in the human beings. Then the war will not come. Even the enemy can be transformed. And so he became a votary of non-violence. You see? And ultimately he got success. The country got independence and is a symbol of non-violence. And Einstein, he says that scarcely future generations will believe that such a man in blood and flesh walked on this earth. Einstein saying that. So, ordinary person evolving to such a level, but knowing how to deal with anger with awareness. So, Vethathiri Maharishi is again that anger, seeing the injustice in society, injustice done to women, injustice done in the name of economics, injustice in the name of politics. All this anger, but when he's the calmness, when he understands how all these things have happened, there's a history behind it. So what transformation has to be done? So he goes to UNO and talks about peace in the individual is what is most important. Then only world peace will come. A totally new way of looking at life. Then, when the mind is very calm and there is some demand in you, nature will supply that. Whereas with our anger, we will do things only with our energy and that too in a wrong way, creating havoc to everyone. So with this analysis, then he says, okay, you take the second person, deal with him for a week. You will find that in a few days' time, you will have total control over anger. Anger will be immediately converted into patience, and then you will take an appropriate action. It is not that you will keep lying down. A judge gives a punishment, even death punishment he gives, but not out of anger. Because he decides that if this person continues, he is going to do harm to the society. In fact, Vethathiri Maharishi says that even the death punishment should not be there. He should be transformed. And he can be brought back. Kutravali Paviyendri Yaramillai Ulagile. Kuraigalukku Karanamo Pazhaya Samudayam. The analysis that there is nobody who is bad. What is happening is, it is because of the society's impact. It has happened. A child not getting food, yes, will become a thief. And in America, again, a judgment was given like this. A child was in a supermarket, he stole some bread, and then he was caught, and then he was taken to the court. And then the judge asked, "What did you take the bread?" He says, "My mother is in a dying state. She doesn't have food. I had no choice. I asked for work. I didn't get anywhere." Then what the judgment given in the United States is that the society has to bear for this. So the child is left free. That punishment is given to the society. Because we are creating such a society that people don't get jobs at the right time, basic needs are not fulfilled. So it is all these reasons put together, somebody becomes like that. So can we give a new system of education? So you see how Swamiji, from the very same anger, how he has evolved a beautiful system. He's a great revolutionary without violence, but all because of anger against the society. So this is what all of us should become. We will be votary of peace. We will get angry for injustice, but we will not behave like an animal. We will go to the depth of the problem. Unmai means, what is Unmai truth? Go to the ultimate base. And from there you see the, then you will find that the other person also has done because of this and this reason. Then your action will be totally different. So sometimes you have to show anger. Otherwise things may not happen. The subordinates, if they say that the boss will not take action at all, there will be indiscipline in office. So you understand it. Now don't get egoistic and then shout at them and remove them from the job and all that. Very calmly, unless I show that I am angry, things will not be done. But within you, that anger should not be there. You should act like an angry person. You can say, I'm going to remove you from the job if you don't do this. This is the last warning for you. And you can act very well. You know, when you are very calm, you can act very well. Shivaji Ganesan, the all-time great artist. He became famous because of his dialogue in Parasakthi in Veerapandya Kattabomman. So was he really angry at that time? No, he was extremely cool. That is why he was able to act so well. Amithabachan, even at the age of 80, is still a hero in Bollywood. But because of the angry young man role he did. But with total awareness. So in situations, you have to do that. And that can happen only when you are totally calm. I have total control over your anger. So sometimes you don't have to get angry at all. Just pat the person. Find out what the problem is. Help it. Then you can transform the person. And in the process, at no point of time, you are not affected. But injustice will not be tolerated. But how action should be taken? It's a wonderful method. And assume that we start doing it in the schools itself. Assume that our political and economic and social religious leaders start appreciating it and start working together to remove the situations because of which people become bad. So unless you remove that cause, this will continue to happen. You show all vulgar movies and then you say people should behave properly. How will it happen? So when you are angry, you are not able to go look beyond. But when that anger is with awareness, you are able to go to the very depth and you find a solution, a holistic solution. That is why Vethathiri Maharishi has been able to give a holistic solution in the field of science, politics, economics, health, etc., etc., etc. And without any bloodshed, so many says transformation can be possible. And everlasting peace is possible. Okay? So, get angry and be successful in life. But when you get angry, you should know how to deal with that properly. Without that, you are going to create havoc to self and others, to everyone around. And that is what is happening. We'll change it. All the best. Be blessed.
Thank you very much, sir, for your excellent justification on the topic. Get angry and be successful. You quoted great personalities like Mahatma Gandhi, Thomas Alva Edison, Vivekananda, Swami Vivekananda, and also Bharatiya, and also our Guru, how this anger had made them do wonders in life. And you also explained that everything is because of thought, and if only we analyze the thought well, everything will be good. Actually, diverting anger to do some constructive and positive action that will benefit self and also a society in large. That's the way I understood get angry and be successful. Even our Guru says we can show false anger on others, for example, just to condemn one's wrong action, just to get the work done, etc. Because such anger will not affect anyone, including self. Very great, sir. It's a very excellent speech, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for your wonderful speech. Dear friends, now it's question answer time. Anybody having any questions, kindly raise your hand. We will unmute you. Anyone? Okay, then. Balachandran, sir?
Yes. I'm seeing nobody getting angry.
After your speech.
Come on, say something. It is just a beautiful place for interactions. Okay. And such a lovely topic on Swamiji.
Friends, anybody coming now?
Okay. If there are no questions, we can conclude the session.
Okay, sir.
Thanks for this opportunity.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for your wonderful lecture.
Yeah,
Yes,
Pratap.
Pratap. Yes, sir.
Yeah, please unmute him. Mr. Pratap, you got to unmute from yourself and from your side and speak.
Yes, sir. Done it.
Pratap, please unmute and then you can speak. Yes.
Yes, Sukhna, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, slightly volume can be increased. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Thank you, sir, your speech. And actually, sometimes I try to do that, whatever you're saying, that we just act like we are getting angry, but we should not be angry outside. We should feel the peace inside and try to get the work done right. But while doing so, initially I start like that. Just it is like acting, but it is not the real angry. But later point of time, it gets converted into the real angry. So how to stop getting
question.
the trap? Actually.
Yes. You see, anger is a very natural. Okay. It is difficult to control. We need to do a lot of practice. Okay. So see, getting even showing anger, that's the last step. There are so many other things also before that. So don't immediately think that I should show anger only. If you really understand the situation, maybe even showing anger may not be required. Maybe you yourself have made a mistake. You will start improving yourself and you will know how to express it depending on the other person. It is in the extreme case of that person not able to understand, then only you are going to show anger. Okay, it will need practice. It will need practice. But just like now we are able to walk very nicely, but as a child, how many times we fell down? But each failure has made you a person now who is able to walk well. So a failure is just a step towards success. Millions of years of animal imprints is there in us. Okay, and our social hypnotism so far, all those things are there in us, in our genetic center. We are not just born yesterday. So we have to work. We have to work with that. And for that only, we have got to practice meditation, come to the calm level and all that. But definitely, you will succeed. Now, at least you can compare like this. In fact, once I asked Swamiji, Swamiji, tell me how to say that we are really getting advancement in spirituality. Okay. So I thought he'll say you will see some light and all that. So he said, it is like this. Think how you used to behave before. In the same situation, how are you behaving now? If there is a change for better, you are spiritually getting advanced. Yes, we will not succeed immediately, but see whether how you used to behave in the same situation earlier. And if there's no change at all, yes, your exercise is not it. You are not doing it properly. We have to understand.
Yes.
Okay, we all can change. It's a question of time. With all the imprints we already have, maybe you have to work harder, but you will enjoy the very process.
Yes.
I tell you with another example with my own boss in Delhi. I had a very difficult boss. Most of us have like that, isn't it?
Yes.
So I had a very, very difficult boss, a Punjabi boss, and he used to shout at anything. You go to him, he will keep shouting like a beast. I used to get very, very angry with that person. But after when I heard Swamiji and then trying to work on this, so I said, what is my mistake and what is his mistake and then why it is happening like that? I found that it's not my mistake. Okay, it is purely his. Then I started understanding why he is behaving like that. I understood that this person was a very, very intelligent person. Okay. But due to partition, he was a Punjabi living in the Pakistan side. So because of partition, he had to come, the whole family had to shift over to Delhi. And because of all that, during that prime time, he could not write IAS exams. And so he could not become an IAS officer. And he had to work at a lower level. And all his bosses were all IAS officers, but much less intelligent than this person. So he was so angry with all of them. He would always try to somehow create problems to the bosses because of his intelligence. And so in his character certificate, they will never give a good this thing. So he did not get any promotion. When I understood this, I said, what a great person, just because of his anger, how much he is losing. So when he is shouting at me, I'm feeling pity for him. You see, honestly, he's shouting at me, but I feel that if only you are able to control this, how much you must have gone higher. You see, then my behavior to him was different. So then, he became a very close friend of mine. You see, even that is possible. One more example I'll just share. We did a program in Tihar Jail. Tihar Jail is the biggest jail in India. Okay. Thousands of people are there, convicts. So we did a program for them, meditation or per-day program. Then we taught them meditation. Then at the end of meditation, we do the blessings. Okay, so we say, think of your wife. Think of all the good things she has done for you and bless that life partner. So when we did that with all our eyes closed, suddenly 3 of them started crying. The first time it has happened that in somebody at the end of meditation while blessing, crying. And that too hardcore convicts, murderers. So at the end of that, I asked what happened. Then he said that they all said, that is, my wife was from a very good family, but now because of my anger, I killed somebody, I am getting punished, it's okay for me. Yes, I deserve it. But what is the fault of my wife? And what is the fault of my children? They're called murderers, wife murderers, children. What I have done for them. You see, and that made them cry. So even a hardcore murderer, without me calling him that you should not do this, sermonizing, but just making them understand this, coming to a calm level and then thinking, they will understand their own mistakes and then they will come up. So if they can do it, why not you and me? Definitely it will happen. I think this is one of the most important lessons Maharishi has given all of us. You will definitely change, sir. Next time we meet, we'll see. Be blessed. Let Swamiji's grace be with you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Kandaswamy Dakshinamurthy, you can just unmute and speak. Sir Kandaswamy Dakshinamurthy, please unmute.
Or maybe he's not able to do it. So all that you have to do is to unmute and then try to speak, sir.
So,
Okay. Maybe has got some problem.
Okay, sir. Shall we conclude then? Sir?
Yes. Share your thoughts.
Shall we conclude, sir, then?
Okay.
And thank you so much, Professor Balachandran, sir, for your excellent lecture. Dear friends, thank you so much for your participation. Let's meet again next Saturday, same time, 6:30 p.m. sharp, Indian Standard Time, to hear another Vethathiri lecture on a different topic. In the meanwhile, please do participate in daily meditation, morning 6 a.m. and evening 6:30 p.m. stop in this standard time. Tomorrow we have Panchendriya meditation. Kindly to attend and enjoy the bliss. Thank you all. Be blessed by the divine.
Okay, we conclude. Thanks to everyone. Please try to join our daily group meditation, which happens in the morning at 6 o'clock and evening 6:30. You can do meditation every day. The thought for the day is there. Exercise Kayakalpa is there. So take advantage of that. Be blessed forever. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, sir. Be blessed by the divine.
We conclude the session.
Yes. Thank you all, dear participants.